Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Awesome, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. And I do mean another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I'm your host, Cody Kelly. Look, I'm in the suit today because I feel presidential. I have an amazing episode, an amazing artist named Blaq. I appreciate this brother so much coming on the show. But you know what? Before we get into it, you know what my two favorite platforms are? Instagram and YouTube. Guess what? It costs you free. It doesn't cost you anything to follow. Connect with me at CVMK33 or support your boy so I can keep doing amazing content at YouTube at CV Space K. You can listen to the podcast where all podcasts are heard. Apple, Spotify, Anchor, whatever your cup of tea is, it is there. Like I said, an amazing episode from a featured artist, Blaq. Blaq, how you doing today?
I'm all right, boss. How you doing?
Man, just getting older, man, you know, trying to keep on to a little bit of hair I got left, you know, so doing my thing, man. Look, yeah. I appreciate you so much, brother. Before we get into these questions, man, I want to play your music. I want to get the audience's vibe into it. I want to showcase your talent to the world, man. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
Gotta keep it 100, look, in a world where niggas be capping and bitches be out here acting. Rap niggas dress like bitches and then they claim they distraction. My niggas shoot at your looter, you niggas puppies, y'all boomers. You women be out here bugging, straight here the niggas, but who niggas really be bluffing? Where that pistol you clutching? When it was time to rob, your ass wasn't shooting nothing. Them Jordans was looking clean, dog, you know what I mean. Hurt you got them racks in the back, nigga. Trapping out the shack, nigga. Nobody got you covered, need insurance just for that, nigga. Plus you lying on your dick, talking about the chicks you hit. She just use you for your money, feel not her, you just a lick. Damn! It's a lot of he say, she say. Going around the town, heard them diamonds hella fake. They ain't dancing like Chris Brown. When the diamond tester gone, them hoes really boogie down. Well, honey, nigga, I'ma keep it real. I can really give a fuck how a fuck nigga feel. Only nigga chasing is these fucking dollar bills. Cash rules everything, boy, you know the deal. Niggas with 23 long hard years and still struggling. My niggas might aim at your grill like it's nothing. That niggas love smoking on Reggie with you pumping. Got my hands in the back. Fuck niggas get smacked. If a nigga got a problem, I'll make sure I handle that. I'ma really let it burn on the bitch like candle wax. Tell my house bitch relax, cause I'm only chasing stacks. Beating verses like a prophet, always looking for a profit. I'ma do it till it die. That's the only way to stop it. I always seen a bigger picture. I ain't let nobody cry. Shit, that nigga hella dapper. How long have I been a rapper? Since a tween. My shit got hella nice at 16. Know a nigga getting cream, stuffing racks inside my jeans. In a 500 Benz hood, nigga limousine. Niggas watching, bitches watching. I don't do this shit for show. I'm just telling what I see. Should I let you niggas know? Keep it 100, nigga, I'ma keep it real. I can really give a fuck how a fuck nigga feel. Only nigga chasing is these fucking dollar bills. Cash rules everything, boy, you know the deal. Nigga. Indigo, sativa, blowing smoke with a diva. She always around, but I really don't need her. She dumping, I gush in my back with clean. Got me seating sideways, I ain't sipping syrup either. Girl, I'm high to the city, I'm not got no feelings, ain't got no damn problems. I'm sorry, I'm chilling. Got a plug, I ain't buying 100 grams. But my bitch buy that shit by the pound. Scoop her up, now I'm knocking her down. So much loss, I ain't trying to get found. So much loss, I ain't trying to get found. Trying to elevate, smoking, make me levitate. If you blowing ready, then a nigga can participate. I done with July, so fell asleep till tomorrow. Yeah, we blowing on smoke. This shit gelato, got cash in my pockets like I hit the lotto. Put bros over holding this shit with the motto. He your bitch today, then retire tomorrow. That good gas hit you fast. Hit it twice, then you pass. We blowing on smoke, yeah. We blowing on smoke, yeah. Then I woke up in the bed, I was laying with a model. I'm a black bottle boy, you don't sip it out the cup. Give a champagne showers, I don't really give a fuck. You get one life, so you gotta live it up. Gotta hit my nigga Woo, he gon' fill you up a cup. He got some crown rubber boots somewhere in the cut. Got a medium of nine since you wanna hit a bone. So I told her light it up, and I'm missing up a drink, and I'm chasing her in my cup. She stay on Snapchat, lil' mama can see it. Put on the beat, we freestyling and singing. The next morning at the crib, we be thinking what we finna do when we hang out next week. Got a little lock of silence after while we ain't speaking. Laughing on the couch, cause my father, he was tweaking. Blowing on smoke, smoking down to a roast. We blowing on smoke, this shit gelato. Got cash in my pockets like I hit the lotto. Put bros over holding this shit with the motto. Hit your bitch today, then return it tomorrow. They good gas, hit you fast. Hit it twice, then you pass. We blowing on smoke, yeah. We blowing on smoke, yeah. Said I'm getting high now. I got my wings. Said I'm getting high now. You prefer what you think. You niggas ain't smoking, I really be smoking. You know I'm not joking, you can't smoke like me. You niggas ain't smoking, I really be smoking. You know I'm not joking, you cannot smoke me. We yelling on smoke, this shit gelato. Got cash in my pockets like I hit the lotto. Put bros over holding this shit with the motto. Hit your bitch today, then return it tomorrow. They good gas, hit you fast. Hit it twice, then you pass. We blowing on smoke, yeah. We blowing on smoke, yeah. Said I'm getting high now. I got my wings. Said I'm getting high now. You prefer what you think. You niggas ain't smoking, I really be smoking. You know I'm not joking, you can't smoke like me. You niggas ain't smoking, I really be smoking. You know I'm not joking, you cannot smoke me. Yeah.
Back. Look, before we get into the music, where are you from, Blaq? Where city you repping right now?
I'm from City Hill. It's outside of Dallas, but definitely from City Hill, Texas, man.
Awesome, man. Texas is in the house. Texas is in the building for sure.
Yeah,
What led to the inspiration? I was just trying to compare styles from Cream that we watched first to Gelato. And there's a switch, and obviously there's, you have versatility. I mean, man, like Gelato's smooth, brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even smoke. That made me when they're like that, that was a smooth, from the chorus all the way up.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that transition. Is it because like these are just the mini size? You kind of have that almost like Kendrick Lamar flair to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you go from here. And, the first song is just about stunting, really like it's a hard stunt on whoever. Right. And then the second song is more of a smooth vibe, with your friends, you're not on any dummy, it's just a cool vibe. Tell me about that transition.
Well, that's basically how we work, you know what I'm saying? Like when we're in the studio, it's that exact same thing. Like we can go from writing something very, very hard and like you said, we studying real hard to just some cool stuff. And it's a matter of who is who's in there with me. Like I vibe off my people because like we always in the studio. Same group is like 3 or 4 of us. We go in there and that's how we work. So when we had those beats, like when we were going through it, we legit made Cream and Gelato in the same day. That's like, so the point of it was, okay, I made these 2 songs and I treated them as separate for so long. And then when it came down to shoot the video, I was like, let's because I like I'm real old school when it comes to my music. Like I really go back and I study and one of my favorite things used to be the double videos. Like a lot of people used to do that back in the cut. So it's like I wanted to bring that back because we don't see that much. Like the average video is probably 2 minutes these days. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep you engaged with it because it's different, And it's like those songs came together so quick. And it was just like, man, I gotta sandwich this together because it's a good mix for the vibes,
No, it is. No, you're right. We don't see the double video shot anymore.
Yeah.
I was thinking of all the early Cash Money records, or even before that, man. Like music videos were 5-6 minutes.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
music videos are a minute and a half. I'm gonna be
Right,
honest
for
with you. Kanye ruined things. That man came out put out an album with minute
Yeah.
songs on it.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's going. So look, I
Yeah.
see you talk about the vibe and kind of what inspires you. I see the poster of Tupac Shakur behind you.
Yeah.
What has inspired you as a rapper? What has inspired really this musical creativity?
Everything really, and I keep it like souvenirs, like you said, like everything on my wall, this is my personal room. You know what I'm saying? Everything on my wall here is like inspiration for me. Like I said, as you know, like I said, Tupac definitely one of them. Like hearing that much passion in a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell people like I'm gonna be 25, so I know I always get the backlash like you don't know nothing about like like 90s hip hop. I tell people all the time I studied, like I went back like it was school, you know what I'm saying? And I studied from the first rap song ever made, and then it's just like you pinpoint, you hear different things, and Tupac is definitely one of those inspirations. Ice Cube, Rakim, and it's like I go down all day and just go, through almost every era, and I can tell you somebody that influenced me. But my main influence was definitely gonna be like Tupac, because I felt like if he can rap on anything, I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who I want to be like. So Tupac was definitely that influence for me, because it was like not only was he just a rapper, he was a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was talking about, and that's definitely me. Like my friends tell me all the time, like. I read books and all that, like I'm big on expanding your knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I tell them all the time, like my music, you're gonna hear the knowledge. You're gonna hear, oh, he's not just a dumb rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like this man can have a conversation with you. So that's definitely one of the main influences, Tupac, for sure.
I love it. Look, speaking of Pac, Pac was to me the first rapper that made conscious music mainstream. You always had KRS-One, you always had MC Hammer, but it was considered like that's what they do, that's not rap. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
But when Pac did it, when you heard Brenda's Got a Baby, you heard Keep Your Head Up, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like, oh no, this is for real what the movement is about.
Right.
So talk to us about that evolution, you know what I'm saying? Because like life, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. Reasonable Doubt is way different than 444. There's just a natural progression, right? Talk about that in your music.
And the thing is, I'm happy you said that, because I actually, like, when it comes to Jay-Z, I'm a big Jay-Z fan also. Like, I wish I could go put it, so I got, like, his vinyls and all that stuff. Like, I keep that. But definitely, like, that transition is big, because a lot of artists probably shy away from it. I was one of those artists that didn't. I like to constantly critique myself and make sure that I'm always elevating, because like you said, if Jay stopped at Reasonable Doubt, we wouldn't have got half the classics that we got, and that's why I say for my I dropped like 3 projects last year, like for my first project called Menace to Society, and I dropped the album Black Ops. And then I dropped BWO, which is Black World Order. Now I see my progression. Now I'm like, wow. And these weren't like 5-6 tracks. Like all 3 of those albums probably have like up to 18 tracks, except for BWO. BWO is 8 tracks. And I look at myself and I said, I needed to do all of that to get to where I'm at now. Now people are like, wow, bro. When I listen to your music and I go through your discography, they're like, man, why you not famous yet? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I get that all the time, man. And it's like, because I still got work to do. And I feel like if you telling me that now, wait till, you know what I'm saying? Like, wait till everything comes together the way I know it is. I'm big on patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's why I tell people all the time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and success is not a microwave thing. It's a slow cooked process, So like that progression is needed. You're gonna need to have those building blocks to go to where you're supposed to be at,
That's true.
Yeah.
So Blaq, so I mean, where is rap going? We talk about the progression.
Yeah.
I've seen hip hop evolve, and I'm glad hip hop is where it's at right now. Because there was a time where it just seemed like there was just a lack of maturity. Like all the phases in the era of hip hop, I felt like it hit a lack of creativity in the early 2000s. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, in a lot of rappers that
definitely
came
do.
out then,
It's
now
kind
it's
of
like,
cookie
who are
cutter.
they? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I call it the BET Uncut phase. It was just, it was only about one thing, right? It wasn't, there wasn't a talk. There wasn't any positivity toward it. There wasn't any development in it.
Right.
You know, it really wasn't about the bars, right? Like, so the art form kind of took a hit. And then you get the resurgence. And then you get, now, rappers that don't have to be necessarily, quote unquote, in a very urban environment. You get the Drakes of the world, and now, you get almost like these nuanced rappers, right? Where's hip hop going?
I mean, honestly, it's moving around. I'll say it's on a move again. And the reason I say that is because we have to look at it like this. I look at my city. I look at where I'm from. I try to always look at where I'm from and then put it out because I feel like everybody has their own different challenges. So hip hop is going to change basically off of your geography. You know what I'm saying? So in Cali, they're probably saying, "Man, we need to get back booming like in the '90s when Pac and them was around." You know, in New York, they like, "Man, we're running stuff right now." Because if we look at a lot of New York rappers, are really on top of things right now. And then in the South, I feel like I look at it like for us, we have different variations too. Because I look at Dallas. When I say Dallas music, I look at it like I feel like we're stuck. Like what you said, I feel like we're in that BET, like you said, BET. I really do. Because even when I listen to the other artists, it's like the ones that do pop from here, they're all like they got the cookie cutter, they sound the exact same. And then I say you got artists like me from Dallas, and somebody like, oh, I didn't even know you were from Dallas, bro. When I hear your music, and I'm like, that shows me like, I think we stuck in the stigma here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's definitely hip hop is moving, but it's moving to different places. You know, it's kind of like okay, you're from Chicago, right? So you already know. You say you had Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got Kanye and Chance,
and then you got Chance the Rapper, right?
Right.
But now we saying who's the most popular rapper in Chicago right now? Right now, it look like it's Lil Durk.
Yeah,
because I've been listening. He's been everywhere. He had a
He has
drink.
been
You know
everywhere.
what I'm saying?
He
And
has
that's
been
what I'm
everywhere.
saying. It's like everything's moving. It's like, how do you constantly keep up? Who's gonna be the next Kanye? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And that's what I say. Like, it's hard to kind of like depict where hip hop is going because we got so many places that it can go that it's like, man, this is a lot. Like you said, it's no longer okay. We got a Tupac over here, we got a Biggie over here, and we got Outkast and UGK down here, and you know what I'm saying. It's like it's no longer where we can pinpoint because, like you said, it could be a rapper from Minnesota sitting in his room right now and have the #1 song in the world.
Killing it.
It's hard. It's hard to track it right now. So that's my opinion. I just feel like we can't even. There's no way you can sit hip hop down and say, "Look, you're doing too much," because it's been going. You know what I'm saying? It's been moving,
no, that's good.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even know. I think about Chicago. You know, Chance. It's hard because like Chicago's always had like this. R&B vibe to everything. And I don't know if that's because of just his culture or R. Kelly just influenced the market heavily like that. But all of our rappers, whether it was Twista, whether it's the Brat, whether it's Kanye, whether it's Chance, they all kind of flow. They have a similar kind of pattern if you listen to them. And that, Chicago's just kind of a real melting pot of sound. And a lot of the sound, it comes from the South, but it's not Southern. You know, like, and you hear it like it's almost like an East Coast aggression, but it has kind of that Southern melodic, feel to it. So I totally agree. I
say it's hard to cap it, man.
No, it is. So talk to us. So we talked about the video. We shared the video. Talk to us about future projects, right? I mean, obviously, like you said, you released 3 projects. What I've learned about creatives, without content creators, without rappers, whatever space they occupy, they're always working on something. What are you working on?
Man, I got told to slow down, man, by the team, man. I'm constantly working, like you said. So I'm already working on an album that's set to release in April. Now, I also, like you said, when you're constantly working, you're working. So like I'm also working on a couple of projects. So what I'm focusing on this year is making those relationships with my producers and actually getting my audience a chance to actually know me personally. You know what I'm saying? Because like one thing about it, like you said, when you're working and you're just working, you kind of like, oh man, you become this gym rat that nobody really sees anymore, you know? And then like I
Mhm.
said, with COVID also, made things a little difficult. But right now, like I said, I'm working on that project and I'm trying to give my fans more opportunities to see me. So very much more visual. So they'll be seeing a lot more visually of me more than they'll just be hearing me, you know?
I like it. I like it. You
Hmm.
could do visual concerts. I mean,
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
visual
yeah.
concerts. That works. Talk to me. So, I shared about a little bit about me.
Right,
Grew up in Chicago, still here. Come from a church background,
right. Right,
and I used to get like terrorized over like, why do you like rap music, right? Like, it's destroying people, and I
right,
think there was some validity to it because honestly, because of systemic racism, because of injustices, because of poverty,
right,
you have a music birthed out of pain and rejection, and then if you
right,
don't have the right principles and the right people in your life, you think
right.
that this is what we're trying to glorify. No, we're just trying to tell you about the truth of it, right? Just because
Hmm.
you can vibe
Right,
to it doesn't mean that you
right,
definitely should do any of this.
right.
But talk to us about how to create responsibility even within music, because there might be an older generation that says,
Right,
look, like, I hear you, but
right.
you said this word about 100 different times, like, how do you explain to them what is art and what should
Right.
actually be done?
I'm happy you asked that too, because I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people don't know about me. I too was raised in a church family. Like I was raised with my grandparents. So that was one of the hardest decisions that I could have made in my young years because I started, when I was younger. So that was becoming a rapper in general, because one thing about it, it was always gonna be like, how am I gonna tell them? So I snuck around and did it for the longest. I never told them I was a rapper. One day, you know, I tell them opportunity knocked on their door and they found out. And then it was like, I mean, this is something I want to do. I've always done poetry, like in church. Like they know, everyone in my church, they always ask me to do poetry. And I'm like, you love my poetry, you gotta love my music. That's me. That's my personal belief because I feel like if it's a gift, it's a gift, no matter how you use it. Because at the end of the day, how do you differ how do you like separate the two? I feel as if Blaq is the same person. My government name Chris. Blaq and Chris are the same person. The only difference is, like you said, the world might see Blaq, whereas Chris, right? So
Mm-hmm.
therefore I'm like, the person is always going to be like outside of the music, like no matter what happens, the person that you talk to, the person that you interview, like it's always going to be the human being that music is just a reflection. Like I tell people, I mean, if I tell you a story about my friend getting mugged or something, what's the difference between me rapping that same story?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm not saying everybody now. Everybody's not like that because then again, there's some music, some songs that you hear, and it just has nothing to do with like anything, no story, no substance. That's true. But then again, you also have to realize that's just that person's view on something. That's how I look at my music. My music is my view on this and that. My view is my opportunity to tell you how I feel about my friend that got killed or shot a year ago. My music is my opportunity to tell you what it's like when I didn't have money. So now I got this chain around my neck, and it makes me feel better, even though it's not supposed to. It's a view. And that's how I tell my people, like, one thing about it is these are my views, and I'm entitled to my views, and just like you're entitled to your opinions. You don't have to listen to it, but if you choose to, you have to understand that any rapper that you're listening to, even if they never did anything that they said in their music, that is something that they may be saying. That's something that they may know very personally. Like I tell people all the time, like those rappers that come from those very harsh environments, those people, they remember that stuff. Think about it. It's just like how they say, we always use the scenario. It's a kid that wasn't really popular in high school, right? and then they grow up and they that fester, that feeling that they wasn't important, and then they get a job, and then they use their power and go straight to their head. It's a power trip, you know. It's like it's the same situation, and that's why I tell people it's like you got to open up, and I feel like you should be more receptive to those views, because at the end of the day, it's just a view or an opinion.
No, that's well said. And sorry to hear about your friend, that was murdered. I lost my friend too, due to gang violence. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think people have to understand that life, or I should say art, imitates life. A lot of times things are presented and it might be blatant and in your face. It's because it's to shed light on the truth of the situation.
Right.
There's a reason for that, and a lot of times we only take it at surface level, and then we critique and judge harshly. But you understand that's a human being that has experienced this and telling you about, hey, look, if the shoe was on the other foot, obviously we wouldn't want to be doing this, but it is what it is. Heart in the blood, it is what it is.
Yeah, and say it like this. I don't mean to cut you off. Say it like this. When Tupac dropped Brenda's Got a Baby, like he said, that was a real situation that he had saw, and him dropping that song made more and more people understand what had happened. Because the thing is, like you said, also I look at it like this, in our community, look at it like this, in the Black community, a lot of the things that go on in our lives, they don't really get, like, you don't see us on the news every day talking about what goes on in our lives. I have family members that go through things every day. I'm pretty sure you've had some family members or friends that have gone through some very big things and nobody knows except for you guys. And that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, and it's not even, because I've also heard the other side of that. Like, some people have come to me and say, hey, you was talking about something that happened, and I really didn't like it like that, because, it was something that I went through. And I was like, well, you're not, and I made that person understand, you're not the only one that's going to go through it, so that can help somebody else. So that's another, like I said, that's just another thing.
Well said. I like it. So what is the goal, right? I told you about, I interviewed this rock band, and I told him about the famous Kid Rock quote when he's like, look, I hate when people say, I got into music, for the fans and for the music, because everybody gets into music for the fans and music. What's the real reason, right? Right. So what is it? Yeah, what is it? Is it to get to the 1 million Instagram followers, to get the deal from Sony? I mean, what's the end goal here?
The end goal is crazy. My end goal is actually to take care of those that I know I need to take care of. This is one of my routes, and I've come across a handful of people. It's legit a handful. I can count on all my fingers how many people have genuinely took interest into my career and have actually tried to assist me from day one. And it's gotten to the point where I've worked with these people since I was 16. It's almost about to be 10 plus years, and it's like, when you see that, you're like, I got to keep going. It's days where I want to stop. And it's like, man, then I think about it. These people, they banking on me, they trusting in me. And that's one of my main things, is I got to take care of those who held it down for me. And I'm not even probably close to the pinnacle that I plan to reach. Like, I have higher goals. Of course, we all want to get awards, Grammys, and all that stuff. That stuff's cool, but I think the real reward is gonna be when you get to take care of those people that believe in you the most, and that's really what I want to do. Like that's my driving factor.
Same here. Take care of those who took care of you. I totally understand. Yeah. I totally understand. So last question, and then you can tell the people where they can connect with you.
Cool.
How do you create space in this competitive market? You talked about differentiating yourself. You said the Dallas, Texas area is kind of at a standstill as far as what that sound should be. How do you create space? How do you put Blaq on the market, right? Like, how do people man, this is who we should listen to. This is going to be the voice of the area. How do you go about that? Oh,
you definitely have to show them things that make you different. Like, I'm one of those people, I can tell you all day, oh, I'm great. At some point, you got to come out and you just got to show them, like, nah, this is serious, man. Like, if you ain't listening to me, you wasting your time. And I try my best to come with the hardest bars. I try my best to come with the most creative delivery and visuals. Like, one of the main things for me is I always to let you see it, because if you see it, you're gonna believe it. And that's seeing is believing. That's what I've always been told. So I'm always trying to deliver something that you've never seen before, even if you've seen it. If I do it again, like Cream is that's Wu-Tang. You seen it, but in its most best way, you know. And I said, but if I put my twist on it, are you gonna believe it at the same time? And from that video, people definitely believe it. You know, I'm like, so you know, I try to always. And my next thing, other thing, you know, just to answer that, it's not even like to be in competition with other people. I'm always competing with myself because I'm like, if everybody love Cream, I gotta have something that's gonna top Cream. If everybody love, you know, my project, I gotta have something that's gonna top that. Because if you can't top yourself, you wasting your time with it, man. So definitely, always try to deliver the best that I can do. You know.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Blaq, where can they connect with you, man? Where can the people support you, subscribe to you, download your music, stream it? Where can they follow you at?
Man, I'm on all streaming platforms at Blaq BLAQ. So if you want to look for the music, it's BLAQ. You see a picture of my nice looking face right there on it. Or if you want to follow me on social media, you can also look at Where Is Blaq. That's WHERE is BLAQ. Where Is Blaq on all social media platforms.
Awesome, guys. Subscribe, connect, follow Blaq. Hit him up on IG. Where is Blaq? I wrote it down just so I can follow you.
Cool.
Support him. I always say, support gets supported. Karma is something. You reap what you sow. Subscribe to Blaq. Follow him. Let you know, hey, look, saw the music video. I think it's nice. I support what you do. And as always, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page. You want to keep seeing amazing content at CV Space K. Blaq, I appreciate it so much, brother. Thanks.
No problem.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You like what you saw? Were you entertained? Were you informed? We want to keep seeing amazing content. Subscribe at the link below. YouTube, CV Space K. You connect where all podcasts are streaming. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Connect with me. I want to connect with you. Let's enjoy the ride.